A new Social Security rule is rolling out soon, and if you're 62 or older, this could change how much money you receive every single month. Thousands of seniors have already been caught off guard by similar changes, and some lost benefits they didn't even know they qualified for. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what this rule means for you, who it affects, and what you need to do right now to protect your income. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share one critical mistake that even careful planners make, and it could cost you thousands of dollars over your retirement. Before we go any further, I want you to do something that will help you stay protected. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update that could affect your Social Security or retirement income. I make these videos because I believe every senior deserves to know the truth about their benefits without confusion or fear. You've worked your whole life for this money, and I'm here to make sure you get every dollar you've earned. Let me start by putting your mind at ease. Social Security is not going away, and your monthly check is not disappearing, but the rules around how benefits are calculated, when you can claim them, and how much you might receive are always being adjusted. These adjustments happen more often than most people realize, and they can have a real impact on your financial security. The new rule I'm talking about today focuses on how your earnings history is reviewed and how certain types of income are treated when your benefit amount is determined. This matters because even a small change in how your benefit is calculated can mean hundreds of dollars more or less each year, and over a 20 or 30-year retirement, that adds up fast. Here's what you need to understand about how Social Security benefits are calculated in the first place. The Social Security Administration looks at your 35 highest earning years to come up with your average indexed monthly earnings. If you didn't work a full 35 years, they fill in those missing years with zeros, which brings your average down. Your benefit amount is based on that average, and it's also affected by the age at which you decide to start collecting. If you claim at 62, you'll get a reduced benefit for life. If you wait until your full retirement age, which is somewhere between 66 and 67 depending on your birth year, you get your full benefit. And if you hold off until 70, your benefit grows by 8% for every year you wait past full retirement age. Now, the new rule doesn't change those basics, but it does change how certain adjustments and earnings are factored in, and that's where things get tricky. The rule that's been announced involves updates to how the Social Security Administration handles cost of living adjustments, how they treat delayed retirement credits, and how they review your earnings record for accuracy. One part of the rule tightens up the timeline for reporting changes in your work status if you're still working while collecting benefits. Another part clarifies how spousal and survivor benefits are calculated when one partner has a significantly higher earnings history. There's also a section that affects people who receive both Social Security and a pension from work that didn't pay into Social Security, which is called the windfall elimination provision. These updates are designed to close gaps and make the system more accurate. But if you don't know they're happening, you could miss out on money or accidentally trigger an overpayment that you'll have to pay back later. Let me give you a real example so this makes sense. Imagine you're 68 years old and you've been collecting Social Security for 2 years. You decide to go back to work part-time because you enjoy it and you want a little extra income. Under the old guidelines, as long as you were past your full retirement age, you could earn as much as you wanted without any penalty. That's still true. But the new rule requires you to report that work income more quickly, and if your earnings push you into a higher bracket for Medicare premiums, that gets adjusted faster than it used to. So if you don't report your work promptly, you might get a surprise bill later, or your Medicare premium might jump up unexpectedly. It's not that you did anything wrong, it's just that the system is now processing updates faster, and you need to stay on top of it. Here's another example. Let's say you're a widow and you're trying to decide whether to take your own Social Security benefit or switch to your late husband's survivor benefit. The new rule changes how the Social Security Administration calculates which option gives you more money, especially if your husband delayed his benefits past full retirement age. If you don't understand how that calculation works now, you might choose the wrong benefit and leave thousands of dollars on the table. I've seen cases where someone thought they were doing the right thing by taking their own benefit early, only to find out later that waiting and switching to the survivor benefit would have given them $500 more per month. Over 10 years, that's $60,000. That's not small money. Now let me tell you about one detail most people miss and I'm going to come back to this in a moment, because it's so important. There's a little-known provision that allows you to withdraw your Social Security application within the first 12 months of claiming pay back everything you've received, and then reapply later at a higher benefit amount. Most people have no idea this option exists. I'll explain exactly how it works and when it makes sense to use it, so stay with me. Let's talk about some of the myths floating around out there because there's a lot of confusion and, frankly, some bad information being spread. Myth number 1 is that Social Security is running out of money and you won't get anything if you're younger than 70. That's not true. Social Security is funded by payroll taxes, and as long as people are working, money is coming in. The trust fund might face shortfalls in the future, but that doesn't mean benefits disappear. It means benefits might be reduced unless Congress makes changes. If you're already receiving benefits or close to retirement age, you're going to get your money. Myth number 2 is that you should always take Social Security as early as possible because you never know how long you'll live. That sounds logical, but for most people, waiting pays off. If you live into your 80s, which many people do, waiting until full retirement age or even 70 gives you a lot more income over your lifetime. Myth number 3 is that Social Security is tax-free. It's not. Depending on your other income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefit can be taxed at the federal level. Some states tax it too. You need to plan for that. Are you starting to see how many moving parts there are and why it's so easy to make a costly mistake? Drop a comment below and let me know if you've ever been surprised by something Social Security did with your benefits. I read every comment and I want to hear your story. Let me walk you through the most common mistakes I see seniors make with Social Security, because avoiding these can save you a lot of money and stress. Mistake number 1 is claiming benefits too early without thinking it through. I get it. You're 62. You're tired. Maybe you lost your job, or your health isn't great. But if you claim at 62, your benefit is reduced by about 30% for the rest of your life. If you can possibly wait, even just a few more years, your benefit grows significantly. Run the numbers before you decide. Mistake number 2 is not checking your earnings record. The Social Security Administration keeps a record of every dollar you've earned, and sometimes they make mistakes. If they have the wrong information, your benefit will be calculated incorrectly, and you might never know. You can check your earnings record online, and you should do it at least once a year. If you see an error, report it right away. Mistake number 3 is forgetting about spousal benefits. If you're married, you might be able to claim a benefit based on your spouse's earnings record, even if you never worked or only worked part-time. A lot of people don't realize this, and they end up claiming a smaller benefit based on their own record when they could have gotten more. Mistake number 4 is not coordinating with your spouse. If you're married, the decision about when each of you claims Social Security should be a joint decision. Sometimes it makes sense for one spouse to claim early and the other to wait. Sometimes it's better for both to wait. It depends on your ages, your health, your earnings history, and your other income. Don't just do what feels right in the moment without talking it through. Mistake number 5 is ignoring taxes. Like I said earlier, Social Security can be taxable, and if you have other income like a pension or retirement account withdrawals, you could end up with a bigger tax bill than you expected. Plan ahead so you're not caught off guard in April. Now let me talk about that little-known detail I mentioned earlier, because this is something that could completely change your situation if you acted too quickly. If you claimed Social Security and then realized within the first 12 months that you made a mistake, you have the option to withdraw your application. You have to pay back every dollar you received, including any benefits that went to your spouse or dependents, but once you do that, it's like you never claimed at all. You can wait and reapply later at a higher benefit. This is called a withdrawal of application, and you can only do it once in your lifetime. It's not right for everyone, but if you claimed at 62 and then suddenly came into some money or realized you could keep working, this option might save you a lot in the long run. The catch is that you have to act fast. After 12 months, this option is gone. If you're past that window but you're at full retirement age or older, there's another option called voluntary suspension, where you can pause your benefits and let them grow until age 70. You don't have to pay anything back, but you stop receiving checks until you restart. Again, this only works in specific situations, but it's a tool that exists, and most people have no idea. Let me describe a few different situations so you can see where you might fit. If this is you, pay close attention. Situation 1 is that you're 62 and you're thinking about claiming because you need the money. You lost your job or you're dealing with medical bills. I understand. But before you claim, look at every other option. Can you tap into savings for a year or two? Can you do some part-time work? Can you downsize or cut expenses? Even waiting until 64 or 65 can make a meaningful difference in your monthly benefit. If you absolutely have to claim at 62, that's okay, but make sure it's truly necessary and not just the path of least resistance. Situation 2 is that you're already collecting Social Security, but you're still working and earning good income. If you're under full retirement age and you earn more than a certain limit, Social Security will withhold some of your benefits. A lot of people don't know this. The limit changes every year, so you need to check where it stands. If you're past full retirement age, you can earn as much as you want with no penalty, but you still need to report your income so your Medicare premiums and taxes are calculated correctly. Don't assume everything will just work itself out. Stay on top of your paperwork. Situation 3 is that you're trying to decide between taking your own benefit or a spousal or survivor benefit. This is one of the most confusing parts of Social Security, and the new rule makes it even more important to get it right. If you're not sure which option is better, you need to talk to someone who can run the numbers for you. You can call Social Security directly, but be prepared for long wait times. You can also visit a local office, or you can work with a financial planner who specializes in Social Security. Don't guess. This decision is too important. Here's what you should do today, right now, as soon as this video is over. First, if you haven't already, create an account on the Social Security Administration's website and check your earnings record. Make sure every year is accurate and that your estimated benefit amount looks right. If you see any errors, contact Social Security immediately and get them fixed. Second, if you're married, sit down with your spouse and talk about your Social Security strategy. Discuss when each of you plans to claim, what your health looks like, what other income you have, and what your overall retirement plan is. Write it down so you both understand the plan. Third, if you're already collecting benefits and you've had any changes in your life, like going back to work, getting married, getting divorced, or losing a spouse, report those changes to Social Security right away. Don't wait. Changes can affect your benefit amount, and if you wait too long, you could end up with an overpayment that you have to pay back. Fourth, review your Medicare premiums and make sure they match your current income. If your income has gone down, you might qualify for a lower premium, but you have to ask for it. Social Security won't automatically lower it for you. Fifth, be on the lookout for scams. Scammers love to target seniors, especially around Social Security. They'll call you pretending to be from Social Security and say your benefits are suspended or your account is frozen. They'll ask for your Social Security number or your bank account information. Never give that out over the phone. If someone calls and claims to be from Social Security, hang up and call Social Security back using the official number. Don't trust caller ID because scammers can fake that, and never click on links in emails or text messages that claim to be from Social Security. Go directly to the official website yourself. Let me also mention something that applies to people who worked for the government or in certain jobs that didn't pay into Social Security. If you receive a pension from that kind of work, your Social Security benefit might be reduced because of something called the windfall elimination provision or the government pension offset. These rules are complicated, and the new updates affect how they're applied. If this applies to you, you need to understand how much your benefit will be reduced so you can plan accordingly. Don't assume you'll get the full amount. Check with Social Security and get a clear answer. Now let's recap everything so it's crystal clear. A new Social Security rule is starting soon, and it affects how benefits are calculated, how earnings are reported, and how spousal and survivor benefits are determined. If you're 62 or older, you need to know about this because it could change how much money you receive. The most important things to remember are to check your earnings record, understand your options for when to claim, coordinate with your spouse if you're married, report any changes in your life promptly, and watch out for scams. Don't claim benefits early without thinking it through. Don't ignore spousal or survivor benefits. Don't assume Social Security is tax-free. And don't wait to fix errors or report changes because delays can cost you money. Social Security is one of the biggest sources of income you'll have in retirement, and you've earned every penny of it. But the system is complicated, and the rules keep changing. You can't afford to just hope everything works out. You have to stay informed, ask questions, and take action when you need to. The good news is that you're watching this video, which means you're already ahead of most people. You're taking the time to learn, and that's going to protect you and your family. Here's my final thought for you. Social Security is not something to be afraid of, but it's also not something to ignore. You have more control over your retirement income than you think, but only if you educate yourself and make smart decisions. Don't let confusion or fear stop you from getting the benefits you deserve. And don't let anyone rush you into a decision that doesn't feel right. Take your time, do your research, and if you need help, ask for it. There are people and resources out there that can guide you, and it's okay to lean on them. You've spent your whole life working hard and taking care of others. Now it's time to take care of yourself and make sure your retirement is everything you've dreamed of. Are you ready to take control of your Social Security and make sure you're getting every dollar you've earned?